the truth is coming. Um, and that's the news coming to you. I said it might be some news, could be an ending, could be a transformation, could be a change. Welcome back to Pisces TV with Dr. MB. Get your ass in here. You a Pisces and you ain't been following my channel. Hit that subscription button and the notification bell. Pisces, I'm going to tell you now, all right? Through this awakening, we have some stars developing. All that bright light that you hold inside is coming out, okay? Well, for some of you, it might even be the grizzly, especially if you got a liar in your environment, Aquarius. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. We have your hopes, your wishes fulfilled. We have an awakening, but it may be challenging. So we're going to talk about that. And the oyster always tells about the light inside. Some of us may be withholding and hibernating when you have so much light to give to the collective, to your communities, to your gifts, and most importantly, your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams. Because God, okay, the Holy Spirit, your higher self, the universe, and if also whoever you subscribe to, Allah, is using a power or some sort of force to aid you. It could seem like chaos, or there may be chaos in the environment, and you have like this spiritual pull or this pull of spirituality or your spiritual aspect of you, and this earthly third dimension, like physical part of you. Okay, now there may be a person, situation, or a literal like life cycle type of big deal going on. Excuse me. And the spiritual versus the physical is a big thing. Now, for some of you, the spiritual life and the physical life are in ordinance. And I'm going to tell you all about your Ten of Cups in just a moment. Okay. But I'm going to give some introspection, is that how you say it? Based on the messages that I received, and it was quite a few of them. Okay, so stick with me and hold it down. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now I want to start off with your crystal card before I go off into my antics. And this beautiful little baby is yours today. Okay, it is the blue aragonite, empathy, compassion, and communication. We have Capricorn and we have Earth. All right. Communication is key. So I will point out that there could be some messages, text, secrets, or something like that in a situation. We'll get there. And some of you have messages from your guide, your protector, who's telling you you're protected through this, whatever this is. And there's a need to raise hell, figure of speech. Now, the blue aragonite activates the throat, third eye, and the heart chakra, allowing you to... Now, I'll be trying to stay on track, but y'all hold it down with me. Now, see, the third chakra, when it's not balanced, people be lying, okay? Somebody may be lying. And for some of you, you have excelled and morphed out of a certain dimension, but you could meet a mud duck or a mud duck Isha. And you're going to be so proud of yourself when you don't do what you normally do, which is that unconditional love and allowing things that shouldn't be allowed into your space. All right. Now, the third eye, that's how you see through the bullshit. And that's for some of y'all, how you going to get down to raising hell, or wreaking havoc or something like that, when you normally try to be non-confrontational in a situation. Okay. Now that heart chakra, for a lot of us, it has grown stronger. And for some of us, it's that unconditional love and that trauma bonding that sometimes gets us involved with the mud ducks and the mud duck Ishas. But we're going to talk about it. Now, as I was saying, The blue aragonite activates the throat, third eye, and heart chakras, allowing you to communicate from a whole and centered place, while the stone instills hope and inspiration. Now, our deer is here as the strength and is crowning some of you because, okay, the spiritual authority that you have, the wisdom, the gentle innocence that a lot of you have, and the unconditional love and inner peace that some of you have, like mentally, that may have developed over some time or through your very much hard work. Okay. Now, this crystal enhances your ability to emphasize and show compassion for others, fostering authentic connections. I love that for you because there's still a very magical moment for some of my Pisces that could be coming up due to some astrological correspondence on the 23rd, and we've been talking about that. Now, the blue aragonite's communication skills also carry across when you are communicating with the spirit realm, cultivating a calm and relaxed space for even more clarity to come through. So if there has been any confusion, any mix-ups in communication, or for some of you, if that may be in your near future, we're going to talk about it. Now, I'm going to pull some details out before I just get lost in my thought and get so excited and just be all over the place. We'll start with the situation itself. Now, typically, spirit card, okay? So the situation may involve spirituality, consciousness, something that's deep, big deal, quantum, metaphysical, the reason why you watch tarot on YouTube, that part of you, right? The sea serpent itself represents this duality of chaos and order, all right? Now, it also represents at times this Ten of Cups too. So for some of you guys, the situation may be an outcome. The situation also may be advice. So listen tight, all right? Now, the sea serpent, power, because there's order and there's chaos. So it's kind of like, when I think of order and chaos equaling power, it's kind of like, it's not out of control. It's like the phoenix. The phoenix is an overwhelming, enormous amount of force, but it never destructs itself. It could destruct everything in its path. You see what I'm saying? But the phoenix never destroys itself. It rebirths. You have that here. We're going to talk about that, which is my favorite part, because when this vulture came out and then spirit came out, it's like the vulture shedded some feathers, and I really want to unpack that. But to the situation. Okay. Being, for some of us, okay, because everybody may not be powerful through this chaos. It reminds me of that guy that made the t-shirts, Thriving Through Chaos. Some of you are doing that. Others of us that may not feel that way, sometimes you can be eaten or drowned by the chaos or the emotion or the force. So just be mindful of that, because this card represents an untamed force. But for a lot of us that could be going through this awakening, coming out of hibernation with this magic inside that's going to burst out. Okay. Just be mindful of that. It also could be how pissed off you may be about this secret, or somebody that just seems a bit suspicious. So we move on along to what's crossing our sea serpent, which is almost like a damn twin. Okay. We have the Ouroboros energy matching the near future of Scorpio, death card. All right. Now, if you say, well, what does this mean? The snake philosophically talks about rebirth, clarity, the ability to navigate both the physical and spiritual realm, because for some of you, tap into the part of the reading that talks about your spiritual and your physical in case there's a fight there. Like those of us that may be very in tune to our spiritual journey and increasing our powers and abilities and using it to either manifest or even connect closer to source. And then there's this aspect of how much do you implement that for real in your daily lives, right? And if we're not able to implement it often as we'd like, the overwhelming, the chaos, you know what I'm saying? And even the snakes in the garden, that disguise themselves as sticks. So you got to watch this motherfucker. But you feel me? Okay. Now, for some of you with the vulture and the death card here, so the focus and the near future, look at that. This gives me the shedding of old skin, which literally is what's crossing the situation and is right here in the snake card. It kind of reminds me of like that Merkaba. So for some of you, that light body activation, as we kind of got into the spiritual aspect of a force connecting with you, could be your higher self, could be, y'all always talking about my gods and swords and spirits. So that, but some people are comfortable with just, it's my higher self. So cool. There could be some shedding of some old skin, which talks about dropping somebody like a bad habit or an aspect of yourself that kind of change. It talks about new phases, new cycles, and hopefully for most of us, just getting out of debt. Okay. Just because the vulture going to eat it and clean it away. Okay. As we bring her up, or him or it, the vulture too represents rebirth. So that's a very strong message for some of you. A positive omen. And I want to tell y'all a little story. Okay. But the card itself is a positive omen that asks us to let go. All right. Let go of things that no longer serve you. All right. Adapt. Okay. Accept. And then turn on your inner vulture. And the vulture, now this is my motherfucking opinion. So don't go Googling shit, correcting me in the comments. You can, I'm just playing. But the phoenix, the vulture, in comparison to the Mayan sign, the colors associated with the vulture, some of the behaviors of the vulture, it's an aspect of the phoenix. It's like, the world's been turning for like millions of years, even though humans haven't been here that long. And I feel over time, some of the same energies maybe manifesting in different forms through different situations, through others' observation and different comprehension levels could have caused them to make a whole bunch of motherfucking names. Because now that I'm explaining it to you guys, it crossing this Ace of Wands is not by chance. So my point to that was turning on your inner vulture is necessary for some of us that may be feeling a bit insecure. And it also talks about doing some research. Some of you are going to be like overwhelmed and excited and surprised by a creative idea, and then how fast the messages and the ideas come to you, and then how fast you take off and become like successful through it. Okay, so we're going to talk about that too, but I'm trying to like slow walk it all so that it makes sense. All right. One funny thing that I was going to tell you, I don't know how many of you guys are in California, but I want to say that Spirit wanted me to remind some of you, remind me of something to explain to some of you about possibilities, miracles, new starts, being a student, doing some research, picking up a new skill, starting a new thing, and it kind of like being super dope for you. Let me tell you about it. In California, or all over the world, I guess whenever, they say that the vultures come out during spring. And so I just researched that tonight. But my point is, I saw one, probably not for the first time in life, but most recently. And if you're in California, it was like around Mulholland and Laurel Canyon or something like that. But we normally see the hawk. They got like coyotes and shit. Some woodpeckers. They got some quails. All the little animals they put on the welcome board. We actually see them often when we go for hikes and stuff. This one day, it was this big ass vulture that stopped everybody in their tracks. And evidently the vulture kind of like me and my kids, because some people, walked close by it and started taking pictures being goofy and shit, and it flew off. But I got to see it from a distance, right? Because I'm respectful. Just beautiful. And I was just staring at it, I ain't gonna lie, for like 30 minutes or so. But that day, an idea came to my mind. that changed a situation and benefited me for months to come, and may even benefit me further in the future because of this idea and how it kind of connected to the past. And now who I was more capable of doing something that I kind of like put on the back burner a long time ago. Some big money came too. So when I saw this card, I got excited because, and I'm talking about Rex. I ain't talking about, extra $50 or extra 1,500. No. Some money that that you don't expect and you super need, okay, or won't. But at that time, I like super needed it. Moreover, it also involved school, and that's crazy because the Page of Swords does talk about a student or some of you doing some research on a thing that you're interested about. For some of you guys, I feel that it involves spirituality and some things that you may be interested in or need to do to get to a certain level of wherever you're trying to be. Others of you, you're being asked to pay attention and do some research on possibly an individual in your environment that need to get the fuck on. But you, unconditional love, trauma bonding, trying to stick up for the underdog, that'll be a decision that's made that later on could cost you. And I'm going to tell you why. So I just had to get that story real quick about some of you receiving a gift or messages from spirit that may be very lucrative to your very near future. Okay. And then we'll get to the cycles and the pay close attention to who's in your environment around this time between now and the next 30 days, because it may affect you for the next few months. Okay. Or a decision that you're going to make for the next 3 to 4, it could affect you for the next 3 to 4 months. And I'll tell you why I said it. Okay. So in the recent past, we have the tarantula, and there you have it, right? I'm not going to say anything negative, but it's like, oh my God, it's a tarantula. More fire energy. So I feel like the recent past and your approach to take to it may have some sort of a connection. Doesn't have to, but they're the same elements. Something that may be physically manifesting into life, or it talks about energy or the force. The tarantula, much like the vulture, have always appeared as protective creatures to me, especially when it comes to like spirit animals or guides. I saw a tarantula once, and it was a fuckboy in the environment, so y'all might want to I'm not gonna hold you. I just think of things. I don't project, but I'll tell you that some things may come to me because that's the relationship the spirit and I have, and it works. I've been doing this for a few years, so everybody chill. You ain't dealing with a fuckboy? Cool. But for some of us, if you are dealing with someone who's questionable, that's secretive and holding back information that may be uncomfortable by your questioning, asking, or just something or someone that you may want to do a little bit more research on, boom. The tarantula also is a protective energy and could represent some sort of abundance, which is why it's next to the deer and the 8 of Wands and the vulture that I just told you is a good omen about like something huge, something big, and make sure you say thank you type deal. So everything isn't for everyone, and there's many different people in different cycles with different astrological correspondence. So y'all just be patient, okay? Because I like when there's one direct message, and it could be motivative or it could be informative. But this one just told me about an awakening process, and we're all in different aspects of that awakening process. Some of us, it's like, I don't know if I'm losing my shit or evolving. Some of us, it's like you may have just come out of that phase, but you're about to move into a phase where you're going to be swept off your feet with something, an idea or a project taken off and money coming out of it, and a lot of fucking money. Others of you, it's protection because you're in a vulnerable state, possibly emotionally, or dealing with all of this that I'm talking about, and there may be someone in your environment. Others of us, insecurities, and spirit is busting out in 40 to 50% of these cards saying, do it, go. I'm telling you, I'm protecting you. I'm watching you. You've changed. You're ready. Shed that old shit. You wouldn't be so ashy if you just let that old skin fall off, but you holding the old skin on looking dusty and don't even know how beautiful you are if you just take the dry ass shit off, right? So back to the tarantula. This represents positive change. So fuck what you heard about this vulture, because I know some of you like to do additional research, just like I said. And I know some cultures think that blackbirds and vultures could represent something negative, but you take that shit if you want to. I'm telling you what I know. Maybe we different. The tarantula being next to the vulture also collaborates with a positive change. Here you have a positive omen, a positive change. It also talks about continuing on your spiritual and physical journey, or connecting it, and the change possibly being in that route, in that arena. Remaining curious, but trusting, okay? With this daughter of swords right there, who's very curious, all right? And it also talks about trust, and it talks about negativity and challenges. So trusting and staying curious through your negativity and your challenges. That is so dope. That requires balance, because some people have been through things that would give trust issues, that would cause you to be the shadow side of the vulture, which is, I've seen it all. I've done it all. Even if I didn't experience it, I watched it. These motherfuckers ain't shit. Earth is ghetto. Just very cynical, and it ain't even being negative. It is real. Like, it's a part of reality. But at the same time, there's a different aspect of you that is necessary for something else inside of you, or a different aspect of your purpose on this planet. So you ain't the vulture. So it's not time for you to just sit, on the branch, looking over, waiting for the end. So some of us, is like waiting for something to be over, or waiting for somebody to do something because you're suspicious of them, or this always happens, so I'm just going to wait on them to fuck up. I'm going to wait on them to lie. I don't know. Okay. Because just a tad bit, there were messages of someone with, I don't want to say a racing mind, but there could be, because of your state of awakening, your thoughts, your emotions, the messages that you're receiving, actual text messages or DMs and letters, or just being busy, all of those things, too, could be true type deal. Right? And I'll just leave that alone, because I didn't want to break it up too much with that. But even if you're feeling overwhelmed or kind of resonate with some more lower vibrational aspects of it, a positive change is in your environment in the near future. So the deer is the strength in what's crowning you, which is a grounded energy, very earthy. And I love that, because anyone knee deep in an awakening, one of the most important things would be to have some sort of control over the mind itself, because the awakening does affect you emotionally, and sometimes physically, and spiritually. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think having control of your mind, being in your right mind, and having a grounded sort of energy is favorable to keep you able to incline as far as your vibration and along the spiritual path, but not losing your grip on reality or life, if that makes sense. Okay. The deer represents wisdom. We did talk about that. Innocence, unconditional love, and inner peace. I might take some clarifiers if we have time, but for some of you, this could be in a household situation. This could be the happy ending that you are expecting. So the surprise, or the grand finale, or the miracle, or the thing that we're talking about, stability, mentally, emotionally, for some of you is given by God's grace. Okay. God's grace completion of an emotional cycle, things happening suddenly, and change being imminent. Okay? Now, I love the things happening suddenly that you least expect. This thing that ignites something that's bigger than you could even imagine. And Spirit kind of did something that I'm not used to, which was kind of point out, and I don't know if it's humbling or just a reminder for some that need additional security. It's like God is doing this, Spirit is doing this, higher self, whatever, something, a part of you, but possibly outside of the physical you, I'll just say that, is making something happen and huge. Now, for some of us where change being imminent comes in as an outcome, ending, or advice, some of us may not like sudden change. And there's a person or a situation that you're already skeptical of that changes. And you already get triggered by change. You get triggered when there are changes in your life and possibly changes from others. Okay? Because the Eight of Wands right next to the Ten of Cups that talks about change being imminent, you have sudden change. Okay? Now, something could also be about rushing. Not sure what it is. Now, if we have two peas in a pot and some sort of transformation and rebirth, we have some strong, magnetic, new budding relationship for some of you guys. There's a difference in your maturity levels because we got the vulture on one end and then we got the daughter of swords on the other end. And those are two. This is like the wise sage, okay? And this is like a student. So there's two different energies, just like I said right here. The two peas in the pot, but so very different when it comes to a particular thing. And changes suddenly and or rushing affects you, them, or someone in a certain way. Okay. We also have progress and excitement. We have now. So for some of us, the issue that could be in question is happening now. However, as I was stating when we got to the death card or Scorpio, this normally represents what we're speaking of could be happening in the next 30 days. So pay attention to the events, people, and situations around you now. It also talks about gathering information and making informed decisions as the drama unfolds. And for some of you, this is the drama, chaos. We have the drama, okay? And then we have the Eight of Wands, which like electrifies the bullshit, okay? So we can do like a separate message for, what did I call it? Tea with Tana, and we can get all into the good shit, but I didn't want to infiltrate it or stick to too much for the general reading, okay? So for those of you that may be connecting, elevating on a spiritual level and maintaining this physical 3D, phenomenal inner peace, mental peace and clarity, the energy could also be giving like inspiration has struck, right? That news is coming in and it's going to be big and it's going to be good and it's going to be juicy and your goals are within reach. Love that. So your goals being in within reach, and then the very next step is your happy ending. I love that. Now here is the happy ending. So the near future and the outcome has to do with a happy ending or some sort of transformation, and it is amazing. For others of you where there's chaos and drama within a personal situation, it could have something to do with someone being overwhelmed, some sort of dispute or miscommunication. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Now with the Ace of Wands, embracing your unique talents, which could be a struggle for someone that's kind of like going through this spiritual thing versus real life, quote unquote. Okay, so it may talk about that. but there's a need to embrace your unique talents. Now, I'm going to run this back. And I was wondering why I felt empty. Okay. Your unique talents are here. The awakening is here. All right. So when we talked about that, here is the Ace of Wands kind of running that back, where your unique talents, they need to be embraced. All right. Chaos and drama, which is crossing the sea serpent, which is more like a catalyst, because this is a spirit card of all the elements. This talks about spirit, not emotions, not earth, not air, not fire, but spirit. So this could be some sort of as above, so below type of energy. And here's where my conspiracy theorist or my more mystical beings like to talk about those dark energies, sometimes like energy vampires, demons, and stuff like that. There's a need for you to possibly heighten your calm, your mental clarity, and your spiritual strength to defeat some things that you may not be able to see that could be hindering you from your goals in your relationships. It's kind of like the witch's curse, as they say, where all relationships end, or you start things and then they just don't go where you envisioned them to be. That may have something to do with a need for more protection, a stronger connection to your intuition and or the spiritual, aspects that, govern or watch over you or nudging you through this video that, hey, I mean, you cool, you got some things, right? But there's some other things that we may need to look into energy wise. Okay, so through that in the environment, you got this cute little page or whatnot, our Page of Swords, which could be the message within itself. That's the catalyst if we're talking about text. It also represents a letter. It represents a student. For some of you, a younger person or someone who's quite chatty that could ignite either inspiration or chaos, right? We have a flood of creative ideas, and next to the Eight of Wands, that seems like right to me. It also talks about something that drives you to reach new knowledge and having a desire to do so. I love that. It talks about brainstorming. So for some of you, there may be changes like in your algorithm, like in how you literally comprehend the third eye, all the other mystical, magical stuff within your mind or brain that people talk about on those videos and stuff. That could be changing through this spiritual awakening or some sort of transformation. It's also a message to believe in yourself, right? To try new things without overthinking, right? Now, if there's some sort of disconnect spiritually, it could talk about the frustrations. Okay, so just be mindful of that. All right, 8 Wands. This is in the hopes and fears, and like I said, sudden changes, rushing messages could be good news for some of you. It talks about now for others of us, being overwhelmed for some. Inspiration has struck. I love that. News is coming in for some of you, and your goals are within reach. There may be more information than you think you can handle, but there's God's power. So it's like I've gotten the Queen of Wands and the Chariot through collectively like some of these cards, but they didn't appear. So I'm going to take some clarifiers just for fuck's sakes. And then here we have God's grace. So you have God's power right here. And then you have like God's power is behind your hopes. And then you have God's grace behind your outcome. That is super dope. Things are happening suddenly. All right. The degree of harmony and success in your emotional and creative plane that you achieve not later than this, like the end of this year, and it may catch you somewhat off guard. For some of you, a very highlighted, auspicious time of your life. And I keep saying, I know some money involved, or just a huge change. It could be a change in career. For some of you guys, it could be a change in residence. For some of you guys, it's like so much. Okay. So just be mindful of that. And I just got excited and all like breathy. Okay. So for our sea serpent, Pisces. Ah, thank you. Okay. Okay. That's a lot. I just like this. Okay. Pisces, we have the Phoenix, bro. That is insane. I love spirit. Spirit really look it out for me. Another spirit card. Okay. The Phoenix is Pluto in Scorpio. So here we have Scorpio in the near future. Pluto is doing some magnificent and what word do I want to use for once in a lifetime, once in a long time type of transits. We did talk about that. I forgot which video it was, but subscribe. I'll be putting stuff on the community board since I see it's a big deal. Hold on, let me sit this down while I just put it back. Where you go? Okay, so we got the fish going upstream. It ain't two of them, so they're not going in different directions. And then we got the Phoenix. Somebody about to come snatch you up. Because when I think, even though the Phoenix isn't ever depicted as the type of bird that preys and sees a fish in the water and snatches it, that's more like the eagle. But I feel like if Pisces isn't self-destructing emotionally and about to beat somebody's ass, I feel like this is just rising from the ashes and doing this magnificent transformation or turnaround. So now I'm noticing that the fish and the snake have the same background. Okay, so let's see what we have for the snake. Because the reading did say to watch the people, places, and things in our environment. So I'm just paying close attention to the cards as well. Now, this ain't by no mistake. Okay, hear me out. You have the snake crossing, and then you have your approach, the Ace of Wands. So look what's clarifying the snake is to make sure we adhere to that approach. And if you missed it, the approach, okay, is to embrace your unique gifts, to challenge it. So if somebody come to you with some bullshit, I don't care if it's corporate office, your landlord, your parents, your kids school. Okay, Spirit said I'm going too far. But whoever, it says challenge it. Don't run, don't hide, don't believe that shit. Challenge it, okay? Be open to new possibilities, though, and embrace the lessons and growth. So for some, the lessons and growth could come with some drama or some chaos. I'm not going to lie to you. And for others of you, it represents a new beginning, possibly within a relationship and or mental clarity. So, excuse me, that excited me. Like, come on. Now, when the serpent goes from being coiled to somewhat being shot up, that's also in alignment with some sort of kundalini rising or that activation of some sort. Okay. There may be a portal of opportunity. For others, there could be some sort of delay. I knew the chariot was coming. There may be some opposing forces, which is like what we've been talking about, the chaos or the order, which is going to be. So the vulture, you know, is the bee. They go hand in hand as far as spiritual and philosophical stuff. I was just about to shuffle, but I saw the bee at the bottom of the deck. Spirit be playing too much. So let's see. Is it the butterfly? Some sort of change. Okay. We have staying busy. We have juggling. So the line motherfucker, juggling, going through some financial issues. I'm not going to hold you. And, ooh, that's why that Three of Wands was at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So real quick, let me go back. The Three of Wands was just at the bottom of the deck, right? The story behind the sea serpent in some cultures is that it's kind of like the siren energy where it Okay, and I'm not gonna call it that, but what it does, it kind of like distracts the, what do you call it, the sailors or whatever, and like destroys their ships. So for some of us, our emotions, something in our psyche, whatever we do that sabotages things, that sea serpent could be that. Okay. Some of us may be questioning if it's us or that or them. Okay. I just saw the 2 of Wands earlier. Then I saw the 3 of Wands. And so I thought about that delay, the expectations and the delay. So that could be significant to somebody. But there is a change. And for some of you, it's in finances. For others of you, like I said, possibly this relationship, a change in speed because there was delays in the past. I feel like things may be speeding up in the near future. Okay. And we keep having the horses. Okay. I did say, so, okay, there's also someone that is going through an awakening or realizes something within them. Now, it could be one of the horses in the chariot, which is the opposing force, another aspect of you, and or a lover, twin flame or something. Because notice the swan, it's mirroring. So is this our outer world being somewhat an indication of what's within? Be mindful of that. I have Aquarius or the King of Swords for some of you. Could be an ex. It also talks about this is mental. This is our focus. This is our plan. This is our strategy. This is our battle. Could be the challenge or the struggle. Now for the Tarant, would you wanted to come back out? Okay. So we have the Father of Wands. I'm sorry, the Father of Swords right there. And notice that the infinity sign behind the 2 pentacles, holding them together, making the wheels roll. Okay. And then we have the Father of Swords with the sword, where the student could become the master, or there's that irritability. So keeping busy, because idle time is the devil's workshop, as they say. For some of you guys, juggle it. Maybe having 2 things being true. So working on the spiritual aspect of it and the physical aspect of it in regards to a project, your life, so on and so forth. For others of you, it talks about a new beginning, a new perspective, a completion of a level, moving, physically moving, possibly some sort of independence, liberation, or increase. So there is financial increase for some of you. There could be an inheritance, or it talks about saving for others of you, or just that holding on tight, right? Maybe breaking out of codependency, breaking out of labor. Okay. But here's the sword, and now the sword and the infinity little symbol or whatnot, they're together. You see that? So there's something about these 2 things, which is your focus and the recent past, that has some sort of connection to possibly what's crowning you. And I like that too, because we have the Fool, which we ain't stupid. So we already know what's going on with that. If it was a bad idea, some of you could be choosing to do something that's a temporary situation and not well thought out, being Piscean, that we may need to rethink. I don't know what that is. We have, why did I say, in my mind, I heard lion. Who lion? Okay. But there was the lion. So let's see. Why is Jesus Christ? I think Spirit's been smart, Alecky, because every time I see something and put it back, it's the first card to come back out when I shuffle. So crowning you is the difference between grace and ego, because you have the deer there, who's grace. That's what's crowning you. That's the strength. The other aspect of it could be pride, could be ego. And it also talks about, for some of you on a spiritual level, your companion. So your soulmate, which is the Holy Spirit, which is your light body, which is whatever. Something about that is going to ignite. So there's going to be some change. I'm excited about that. I want some kind of metaphysical change. What, your superpower is going to be stronger or something, Pisces? So in the near future, let me not put no cards back, okay? We have the Black Egg, ooh, which is a spirit card. We also have the Six of Swords. Why did I feel like I'm having deja vu. We have the Daughter of Wands and Justice. So for some of us, I know this Daughter of Wands is news. It could be news. Others of us, it could represent the raw power, all right, and a need to balance it, which is that controlled force type deal. We have the Six of Swords that talks about moving away from chaos, and also into calmer waters. It talks about stealing the mind. So some of you, the decision or the choice or the person or the situation has to do with right or wrong, true or false. Okay. It also could have to do with where Libra falls in your chart. Libra in general, if this is about some astrological situation. But the Black Egg, I'm excited to talk about that. Hold on, because I forgot. Because there's a few eggs. Hold on, y'all. Un momento. There's a few eggs in this deck. What did I do with it? Damn it. Oh, there's a few eggs in this deck, and I wanted to be clear really quick because there's another one of the spirit cards that I totally love. And where did you go? I just saw you pop out. Okay, a guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. There's going to be some rebalancing in situations. Could even be your pocketbook for some of you guys. Clarifies, reveals wisdom for some of you. Others of you, dramatic and aggressive. So just be mindful of that. Clean your space with sage for some of you. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. The intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one wants to do and cleans up our messes. So it's like you're being protected and some of your messes are being cleaned up because spirit is looking out for you. But at the same time, there could be some messages of where we can tighten up at. So just be mindful of that. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. So in our focus, it's the blessing in disguise. What clarified that was the Two of Pentacles. So for some of you, financial change, meaning getting out of debt. And others of you, it could also talk about financial embarrassment or somebody else. And that's that ego, that's that agitation and lashing out due to some financial discrepancies. And spirit might have a word on that. Real quick, Phoenix also represented freedom from suffering and past karma as well as reincarnation. So for some of you, when I did think about soulmates, like a situation or a catalyst that involved either a past life or some of you, it could have been fate, but because you're changing and getting into different timelines, it's like that you're going to miss that. That's a blessing in disguise. Like you're not going to go through something that you could have gone through. And I think it's super cool that spirit could, tap in to say that. Because imagine some decisions that you've made. I don't care if it's who you had kids with, the job you took, the college you went to, the place you decided to move, the first apartment you ever had, the first car you ever bought, and something crazy happened that like still haunts you or you still paying it off. And imagine that you now, stronger spiritual connection, are guided by something that just like blocks some out for you. That is insane. And then kind of coming in this reading to tell you that it is happening live in your face. So I think that is so dope. Dead weight and stuckness. That's what may be changing for some. Taking a stand and deciding to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind. For others of you, we have healing emotional wounds and expressing our desires, with the Ace of Wands being the desires. Right there is what we talked about. So there may be some communication about how we really feel and what we really want. And for some of y'all, I hate to laugh, but these Libras that come out for Pisces on my channel, they are funny. So I don't know if that's that, or like I said, the whole balance and integrity aspect for some of you. It could involve legalities, but I don't feel like that, even though the Justice card came out. So I just want to throw it out there. The Black Egg, however, right, which led to this rant. kind of represents speaking from an authentic voice, and it represents the truth. Now, see, grounding you, or the strength of the matter, even though it says lion, and I think it's more so referring to the figure eight, which is connected to Metatron, which is connected to, in my mind, the Father of Swords, which is connected to Gemini, which is connected to the Akashic Records, which is connected to transmutation on a cellular level and a recalibration of your neurological system from the Kundalini rising and the serpent in your spine, activating some shit in your brain, which is what they say the 33rd vertebrae of what Jesus even represents is they kind of make someone a master. Okay, that was a lot. But the black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, which is the truth. So for some of you, the truth is coming. And that's the news coming to you. I said it might be some news, could be an ending, could be a transformation, could be a change, but it might be the truth. It also talks about inside of it resides no confusion. So there's clarity coming to a situation for sure. There's no excuses. There's no small talk. There's no noise. There's no lies. So for some of us in our mind, what you're thinking, it ain't even what it is. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, and perhaps public speaking, which is in the environment. So some of you, that's why I say you right on path, okay? Others of us, where it's gossip and lying and bullshit, that's a whole nother reading. We'll talk about it later. So, books draw us in. The concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself, and what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. And that's something, waiting for us to reconnect is also something I've heard when your guide or guides or source is asking you to reconnect with it. Now, the black egg is also connected to the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra. This is insane. Your bonus card is connected to the throat. I know somebody was lying. Somebody lying, baby. I don't know if you lying, Pisces, or because it say Pisces right there. Right here. There I don't know if somebody lying to you, baby, or on you or about you. Now, if I had started with that, everybody and their mama being here trying to see who lying, but that's gonna be we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. The next reading, I'm gonna do this lie or this truth or whatever this is. But this too is connected to the throat chakra. The ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. And didn't I just say the sage is right here? And you know what? I try not to project, but usually when I see this card, even though it means so many things, and I'm infatuated with Aquarian energy because a lot of you have other Aquarius placements like rising or moon or whatever, and we don't throw no shade, but this card comes out sometimes when people be lying, right? Or there's something else like, nah, that ain't it, or whatnot. So there could be some of you where there's something that's like, nah, it ain't exactly that type deal. Okay. It says it governs our speech and expression, and okay. Vishuddha, right, translates it as especially pure. The balance of this center is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. Okay, so be mindful of that. That is insane how the throat chakra came out twice, bro. It's like, It ain't no game. It's just like different messages for everybody. So that is insane. So for some of you, it's the black egg. Okay. I think for the collective, it may have something to do with that, about speaking clearly. Now others of us, it may be bad news pertaining to some legalities because of a lie. Okay. Which talks about debt and like something where you were trying to move out of certain conditions for whatever reason. And that's just like the Queen of Wands can manifest whatever she wants or be whatever's necessary. And it could be harmony or havoc. Okay. So with the Ace of Swords, this came out a second ago as well. You have the Moth. Now I know for sure that represents some lingering dark energy where you guys are the light and darkness for others. So those energy vampires, those dark frequencies and energies that could be infiltrating the psyche, creating some things, be mindful of that, especially for those of you that are dehydrated, not getting enough water, and need to heal certain areas. Okay. Like a moth to the flame, something by the fire. Oh, you cute. And you like my desire. That's the way love. Yeah. Woo. Look at that. That's the way love go. Oh, child, I am not finna play. That's something. That is something. That is very much so something. This soulmate, this life partner, this agreement that was made in another realm that's manifesting into the physical. Interesting. Let me see. Cause they be having some cute little details in here that, that's funny. How I had one perspective for some of you, but then Janet Jackson came out for somebody else. That's crazy. Two things can be true. So let me see. Impulsive, hasty, and wishful. Yeah. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. So for some of you, that's the approach that was taken to a situation. And it also asks us to finish a project. So for some of you guys, there was a thought or some sort of inspiration and a project that was put on the back burner that may need to be revisited. It talks about, it's helpful to remind that moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. Okay. That's something. And then we have harmony. We could have love. And then we have the Father of Pentacles. So for some of you guys, it's mastering. And the things that you've learned through life, you'll later be able to teach. For others of you, there's definitely a union here, okay, or some sort of relationship. We have wish fulfillment, and we also have contentment. We have healing, and we have that scorpionic debt, and that is crazy. We also have the raccoon who's hiding something, whether it's our gift, abilities, and talents, and we being shy and insecure, or that lying motherfucker. Because I just saw the 8 of Swords and the 7 of Cups. So they toxic, and they always are. I saw you. I need to stop looking at the cards. Every time I look at the motherfucker, it fall out. So here's Capricorn. For some of you, it does represent desires. Others of you, it may represent discipline and or a situation where there's a need to get out, where the psyche is being attacked with all this negativity and doubt, and we've been introverted, but the what is that? The bear hibernation is over. There's a need to get out. Okay. Online is cool, but there's a need to get out. There's a need to travel to feel whole and complete. Okay. To see yourself as the one. All right. Now marriage could be involved for some people, walking away from things that no longer serve us and letting go of a situation may also be important to others. Now, I do feel because Capricorn was at the bottom of this card, we may be talking about a transit, and not just the devil energy. Okay, so keep that in mind. Ooh, we have some unstable destructive behavior, oh, and some anxieties. Now, I know this, when these two cards come up, we may have an unexpected offer too. Now, if you don't feel emotionally unstable and get destructive and want to like tear some shit up, there's definitely two people that may not be in a serious relationship or have ever had one, but you guys are definitely some sort of soulmates and have a connection to each other that's beyond like the 3D. And there could be some unexpected emotions or an unexpected offer again. Now the earthworm came out with the octopus. Oh my God. So for some of you, the messages, the ideas, the thoughts that you're receiving because of some energetic shift or awakening, maybe spiritually, you're not catching them all. It's like it's driving you over. It's like, you're getting them. You can feel it. You're gifted, but it's kind of like lacking direction. And there could also be a low vibration due to toxins. So some of us that maybe not drinking enough water, it could be, I don't know what y'all into, but it could be XYZ, elemental P. Okay. Be mindful of that there could be like a low kind of energy and something that affects your mind here. And this with the devil card definitely talks about some sort of, toxins, addictions and stuff like that. Now, if that's not for you, this 8 of Wands just talks about a direction and swiftness and moving fast and change. Some of us don't like that, and it triggers us because it changing how many times, Now, for those of you that may be having some things manifest from the spiritual realm over into the physical realm, you may be lacking what to do next. So we're going to see. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor, Cube in the square. We got the horse coming back out with the swan. They won't leave each other alone. And then we have the zebra. So somebody's different. Somebody's changed. Okay. Oh my God. That's like a mystery of some sort. And then we have the horse. That is crazy. And the peacock be out on some bullshit. And see, the wolf and the cobra don't play them kind of games. So those are two totally different energies. And see, that's why I told you guys, look, that's why I looked into the black egg, because it was another one. Now, the golden egg also talks about it. Child, look at this. You got the Emperor in the Tower. So this represents stability versus instability. And some of you, this is the shift that's happening in your finances, in your life, in a relationship. Wow. It also talks about downloads and messages that may give you what it is that you need to build something. Okay. So the lie shatters the glass, but your stability and your capacity to build, I think is going to be heightened. So let me look at what the golden egg has to offer us, and not, somebody feeling left out. That is crazy that those cards came back up though. Let's see here. That is insight. So the near future and the outcome, spirit, the situation, the near future and the outcome, all spirit cards. That is crazy. So let's see. Message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Okay. With the golden egg represents, within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard. So when we talked about a message in the environment, here's the messenger. Okay. So that's something. The message cannot be heard nor discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. So for some of us, with that stilling the mind, moving to calmer waters, it's necessary to move forward with your spiritual journey, with whatever decisions you have to make, with whatever's going on, the chaos, the drama, or the overwhelming amount of creative ideas, whatever the case. It says no rushing. I know somewhere in this reading, rushing was an issue. Right next to it, this 8 of Wands, that rushing could be problematic. Pushing and grasping could also be problematic. So find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart. So for some of us, there may definitely be something on your heart, and it's like you can't figure it out, and it's not coming to you because the mind ain't still, and somebody's chakras is off, and all kind of shit we done talked about. So there's that. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for some time. So that's why I told y'all an unexpected offer or some changed feelings may be coming up from a person in the past. And listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you is insane. We also have the fourth chakra that talks about something in the heart center. And it talks about home of the self or the soul. Excuse me, bringing the mind into this center, we discover a portal of the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation. So some of y'all awakening y'all inner guide. And that's dope. So, that was a lot. I knew it was going to be a lot. But that is what I have. I do hope that it helps. Until next time.